By listening to the following, you are acknowledging that the comments, opinions, and analyses expressed by Metatope LLC, its representatives, or any other contributor are for informational purposes only and should not be considered individual investment or legal advice or recommendations to make an investment or adopt any investment strategy. You should be aware of the real risk of loss when buying and selling any assets, including but not limited to NFTs, tokens, or securities. Always conduct your own research and strongly consider seeking the advice of a financial or legal expert. And now, here's Crypto Chris G with TopeTalk.
What up, what up, what up? We got a red alert. It is crazy in the streets of crypto today. We've got a over $2,000, almost a $2,100 Ethereum, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know this day was going to come so soon. What an absolute banger start to all the speculation around the ETF from BlackRock. Today has been an absolute crazy day for Ethereum. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Good to see some of the other altcoins also keeping up. Ethereum Classic doing some craziness. Dogelon, some random Doge coin out there that's somehow outperforming both Flocky, Shiba, and Doge. Yeah, I remember Dogelon when it first launched. I had a little bit, and yeah, it still would be about 90% down from when I bought. So yeah, welcome to the stage, everybody. Thanks for coming into the room, Crypto Medic, with this crazy new PFP we're looking at. I've never seen anything like that before. I might have to have a question about that. It looks pretty sweet. Nice smile. We got what's going on, Crypto Medic?
What's up, my brother? So happy to be here. Yeah, I've been playing in the background. I don't know where it came from. Just kind of fell into my lap. But yeah, happy to be here. It's exciting times. I'm excited to be a part of creator communities, and it's just neat to be able to play with stuff.
For sure. Yeah, there's been a lot this last couple weeks, especially with the Meta Rebels puppy drop. Those things looked absolutely bonkers good. Saw a kid called Beast Rasty doing some cool stuff with his modeling. I'm looking at the Beast. I got mine stored away, locked in. He ain't going nowhere. I got the anime shirt with the chains, bro. Dude, someone on the other side of the world, when the Beasts take off, I'm gonna get a hefty penny for that rare kid called Beast that I have. I mean, absolutely rare, out of its mind. But yeah, also on the stage here we got Walker. What's going on, man?
Yo, all is good. Love to see some momentum coming back into the market. Excited to jump in and go over some Metatope updates.
Sounds good, bro. Sounds good. And of course, last but not least, Top G Enzo. What's up, man?
Yo, how's it going? I was pumped to wake up and see Ethereum over 2K again. That was really some exciting stuff. Also Bitcoin over 36. That was crazy. So yeah, I'm excited to hear what Walker has to say about what's going on in the market and why things are going the way they're going. But yeah, happy to be here. It's a nice sunny day. The summer is right around the corner for Uruguay, so it's nice and hot.
Right on. Yeah, I think we can dive right in. Walker, if you want to start jumping into a little bit about what's going on, what's causing all this craziness in the market, all this volatility when, we're still seeing the floodish news that Bitcoin is, somehow briefly tops 37K amid market optimism, with low volume. What are these guys talking about?
Oh man, thank you. So again, as we've been charting, it's been a crazy climate. The Federal Reserve deploying quantitative tightening, which is them offboarding assets to the market to lower their balance sheet, which drives prices down. We have interest rates, going through the roof as far as modern times are concerned. All along while inflation is for modern times, some of the worst that we've ever seen, and really creating this massive sentiment of uncertainty. And really interesting, if you go back in time and you kind of look at the different standpoints of our Federal Reserve and how they've deployed monetary policy, the Volcker era was, and Volcker was the head of the Federal Reserve. If you go back and kind of listen to some of the things that he says, I think that he had a lot to do with kind of the modern theory around our monetary policy and how the Federal Reserve interacts. And one thing he said is that inflation, essentially what he said was that inflation is as much perspective of it as anything. If you can taper people's expectations of inflation, it is just as effective as dealing with the problem itself. Because if people think that inflation is going to get worse, it causes them to go out and to buy more goods and to stock up, and you create this doom loop of prices, continuing to go up. But again, that the expectations of where inflation will go are as important as anything else. And so many people have just been, I mean, really, like, I think everybody, for the most part, at one point or another in this cycle has been so confused because there's so many different things that are being thrown at us at such a rapid pace. And again, those three core principles of, the Federal Reserve selling assets to the market, interest rates going through the roof. We really, a lot of people thought that something was going to have to break, or that we were going to go into this super prolonged recession. But again, during the Volcker era, that's really one of the only times that we can look when the Federal Reserve was enacting all of these policies, inflation was going up, interest rates were going up. What happened? Well, back then, we had a lot more of a runway. The market wasn't so propped up, and we went into a very prolonged period of really kind of stagflation in the U.S. economy, like 15 years of downward price action. But as soon as they turned around and stopped raising interest rates, started cutting interest rates, things turned around, and we had one of the biggest bull markets of all time. And we're already seeing the Federal Reserve pumping the brakes. They're slowing down. They've stopped currently on the interest rate hikes. Maybe there's one more. There's a lot of discussion about cutting interest rates in early in 2024, and that's where we're going to have to see, because when the Federal Reserve turns around for real, I think it's going to be all gas, no brakes. Markets are going to be pricing this out into the future, and going into an election year, what's it going to be? Do we really believe that the Democratic Party is going to do something different than any party in power has ever done, and not use the full force of the government to ensure that the U.S. consumer, that the voter feels good about the economy, and has a positive outlook? And so there's a lot going on here. But diving into specifics, we talked about it last week. Looked like the dollar was setting a top, and that's what we've seen. And the dollar today has started to break out again. But really, like it's coming up on a lot of resistance, right around 105.80, which is about where it is right now. And this goes back all the way into August of 2022. And we recently, if you look at the chart, we've recently like reconfirmed that resistance level. We've dropped below it, so the dollar not looking too strong here. As the dollar started to break down. The S&P 500, the stocks in the U.S., they had a huge week. This was like a 6% swing, and this was down and then right back up. We're riding above most of the meaningful averages on the 4-hour. On the daily, we are right now retesting that 50 SMA. It's just busted above it, so kind of a wait and see territory, there as well. We do have some resistance overhead, but not too much. Jumping into Bitcoin, I think most people here, are paying attention to what's going on. But it's just been insane. I mean, we're breaking through level after level. We've ran all the way up to 37.8. Right now it's really in kind of this ascending channel, which is typically a bearish pattern. We still have good volume. It's broke to the upside. We don't have a close on the daily, but we do on the 4 hour. The 4 hour, we've already reclaimed, this previous resistance level as support. So Bitcoin could be gearing up for another move. For those that don't know, the Fed has the opportunity. The ETFs for Bitcoin, they have an opportunity to approve all 12 this week. I think that's what a lot of the hype and speculation are around. So a lot of economists that think all 12 will be approved this week. We're going to have to wait and see. If that doesn't
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
happen, that date will be pushed out until January, with then like a 90+% chance of it being approved at that next date. So will the rally continue? Will the speculation and the hype continue? Maybe there's a short-term sell-off, but I would definitely think we're going to get another big hype narrative going into January for Bitcoin. And, then the question kind of is this a buy the rumors, sell the news type event? And most of the time, when you look at the fundamentals in this market, the majority of the time, you do want to sell on the event. But I think, this time with Bitcoin, again, I think it's very likely there's a short-term sell-off. Once the news hits, once it goes live, I'm sure we're gonna really go through some levels. But then think about the incentive and the involvement from some of the biggest institutions and money managers in the world. They are going to want to put this in front of the American public. They're going to want to get those commissions. I really believe that they're going to want Bitcoin to be the center of attention. Maybe that doesn't happen day one, but I think that it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to stop it with so much momentum going in to the Bitcoin halving. So yeah, I mean it's feeling really good. I took a position earlier today, just a small long on Ethereum, as I kind of saw Bitcoin topping out there. Typically it trickles down, and Ethereum's looking incredible. If you go over to ultrasoundmoney.com, really great resource to track all of the fundamentals of Ethereum. We're back in that net negative issuance over the past 7 days. So we're seeing again, more Ethereum burn being produced, and as this network grows, and we start to get back into a crypto summer, I think Ethereum is positioned incredibly well. Was looking at Pepe. Pepe's actually making an interesting trend here. I think with all this money flowing into crypto, all these profits popping up, seeing Bitcoin at a natural support level. I'm sorry, natural resistance level. Those are times when the market starts to cool off, you could really see some money start to flow in to these altcoins and the meme coins. But Pepe's kind of making a descending channel right now, testing the top end of that. But just something interesting to watch. And last but not least, we have the NFT market and the sales volume. So, I was seeing some things that saying like it was the most NFTs sold in a year. Not true. We've had some dates with actually significantly higher numbers. 10,000, over 10,000 in February. We got 6,700 in June. But what was significant and almost reached the top was the value of the NFTs that were sold. So it was over $18 million worth of NFTs sold over the course of 48 hours. So starting, to see some money flow back in. Hopefully this is more of a sustained pattern. We have seen that stay around. The most recent data at 3,400 sold today at over $15 million worth of value. So, starting to see some liquidity flow back in, and yeah, it's feeling great.
Woo, that was a long one today, but man, all valuable information. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy out here in the and like watching all the gas prices go up today has been absolutely crazy. It's up to like been hovering around like 70 gwei all day. Um, you're not seeing like as much volume for like the smaller buys, but you're seeing like some of these coins like just like taking a look, like you said, like Pepe. There's this Grok coin that came out for the GROK, which is that's from Elon's tweets. That thing hit, I think, 25 or 28 million market cap. I mean, that's made millionaires easy. Like that's crazy. And every time Elon tweets, that coin goes up. So it's like he's focused on Grok, and that was one I missed. But yeah, I think this is going to be very interesting to see how the market reacts to, like you said, the ETF passing and stuff, and potentially could see some retracement, some capitulation before the next leg. But either way, I still think we're in a very bullish sentiment. And yeah, I've had some people on the Web2 side already making comments, sticking their nose out there, being like, "Hey, I see something's happening," So it's good to see. It's good to hear from those people. That's when you can kind of get an idea. And then also, breaking news in the last hour or so was Roblox. They had a live situation where the CEO said that there's potentially a future for NFTs in the Roblox ecosystem. So that's super exciting. But I think that we're getting close to the NFT cycle being, seeing people pick up assets. People are already kind of putting those posts out again where it's like on Twitter where it's like I own 25 apes, I own X this, X that, blah, blah, blah. What else am I missing? Once you get those again, usually you get a little bit of buying activity. I checked OpenSea earlier, didn't see pretty much anything that made sense that it had to have at the price it's at right now. So maybe we can find some new mints coming out here pretty soon. I mean, Azuki Elementals are 0.7 ETH. I think a lot of us remember when those were like 0.2 ETH after the launch, but that's pretty interesting. You can get a mutant ape right now for 6 ETH. That's pretty wild. But yeah, Thanks for that, Walker. Didn't really have too much planned out today. We've been grinding pretty hard on the internal side of Metatope. There's been a lot of improvements for our tech. I think Walker, you said you wanted to say something about updates on Metatope earlier, so I didn't know exactly what you wanted to put out there.
Yeah, it's been, I think that it's an incredible journey, coming into this space, and everybody has, their own story, how they got there, why they stayed, and for us here at Metatope, it's been awesome, and we're so appreciative of everybody that stuck with us, and think over the coming weeks and months we're going to be releasing some new solutions and new technology that is going to provide value for really any project and any community that wants to be a part. So just to give you guys something to be excited about and look forward to, and we'll have all the information as soon as we're ready to let it roll.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Yeah. So let's don't have to do a long one today. I think that we're getting super close to having these with jam packed full of info. Thanks to Hangry Animals. Give them a follow in the chat here. We had a good meeting with them today. Super cool. Love what they're doing. Some really cool and like behind the scenes stuff. Some ideas that made a lot of sense. So really look forward to seeing that company and project through this next cycle. But I think we're pretty much good. We got news out of the way. There's really not much else been going hard on the outside of like we had the Ape Fest last week, right? And apparently there was a little bit of issues with the UV lights, and some people had to go to the hospital with like burning eyes, couldn't see, like crazy stuff. That would probably be one of the scariest situations. Like you're in a foreign, like you're across the entire world and you're going blind. You have like some sort of like radiation or something crazy. So, yeah, I think that was quite the quite the situation. I don't think anybody I knew was directly infected, but I definitely saw some information on Twitter about that stuff. Let's see if there's anything else I could throw out here.
Cryptomatic, I would love to know what your favorite NFT project and your favorite altcoin is and why.
I don't do altcoins, man. You must be talking about somebody else.
No altcoins, no utility based, no Chainlink, no Oasis.
No. I stick to the big boys, man. I got my Bitcoin, I got my Ethereum, got a little bit of BNB stuffed away. So
So
just
how did you go from trading like top tier coins all the way down to NFTs?
Well, I think I started in NFTs and made my way up to trading top tier coins.
But you had to buy the crypto to get the NFTs, right? Or were you trading at fiat?
Yeah, no, I guess I did a little bit, but I wasn't holding crypto.
Right.
Yeah, as an asset.
Wow,
right?
that's pretty cool. I don't think most people get bullish, or I guess maybe people do, and that's why it's such a great onboarding tool. But that you went so far into the rabbit hole to be bullish on NFTs, but weren't bullish on crypto yet.
Yeah, and it was through NFTs that I started to understand the coin side of things, right? Like because at that time, a lot of crypto NFT projects were trying to do the blockchain side of things, right? Trying to show utility, right, through gaming or other things. But really, all you were doing was just shifting stuff around on the blockchain, right, or multipliers and things like that. But it taught me a lot about the connectivity and the assets themselves.
No, I think that's great, and I was listening to the guy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Immutable X, but the founder of Immutable X was talking the other day, and I think they just did a partnership with Polygon. But I think they were saying like 70% all the Web3 games are running through Immutable X now. And when he was looking at it, he was like talking. He was like, look, you can look at DeFi, you can look at payment processing, like all these different avenues in crypto that I believe have an incredible future, but they require some amount of speculation. And he was like, with the gaming ecosystem, and I think he's quoted like CS:GO does like $12 billion annually in sales, and how difficult it is for these players to retain the value. That it's just such a natural transition and an evolution for that sector to be consumed by Web3. And I think, here at Metatope and with our ethos and technologies built around the 3D assets, we're very aligned, and that's exciting.
It's the Y Combinator, man. This is all the Y Combinator for Web3, I call it, right? It's those core technologies that all of the industry will really develop upon. And there's been hit and misses, and people have been building, and people have tried things that didn't work and things that did. But I think that's where we're headed now, right? Is we're seeing the emergence of those very core technologies that everything will be built upon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, dude. Have you guys? Do y'all use Nansen? Have y'all ever used Nansen? I'll take that as a no. I'm gonna post one of their things up. I would highly suggest anybody that's a trader, interested, tokens, NFTs, they are an incredible platform, and it just gives you an enormous amount of insight to like all of the trading that's happening within inside of crypto. You can target like specific wallets. It'll show you like smart traders. It'll show you the contract addresses that are getting a lot of volume, where like smart money, what they're selling, what they're holding. But I absolutely love it as a tool. I think you guys would find a lot of value in it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'll definitely look into that. You throw it up in the nest or something here. And I'm always interested in information, right? Because that's what this is all about, right? Increasing your knowledge, increase your information, and you'll be in the right place when the right things come, which I think we're starting to see the indicators of that, as you alluded to, right? It may not be the explosion tomorrow, but these are good indicators. And moving into an election year, like you said, I think next year is going to be a really positive year for hopefully the industry, but hopefully for the economy as well.
Listen, as long as NFTs and crypto goes up, that's all that matters. Everything else can go to zero.
The only thing that Chris has to his name is his board ape.
All right. Well, I think I need to get back to work. Honestly, I have a few more things I want to do in it. This whole hour in advance, what's it called? Daylight savings time. It really messes with us over here in Florida. It's already dark by not even 6:00. Now it's pitch black outside. Yeah, that's just driving me nuts. Anyway, you got anything else anybody else have anything they want to talk about? All right. Let's get out of here. Yeah. As always, we're here every Thursday, guys. Thanks for joining. As I said earlier, once we have some more announcements coming up, Tope Talks will be longer. We'll have more crazy guests in here. We'll get it ramped up again like we did in the past, 70 times every week. So, yeah, we'll have a little bit more to be optimistic and have fun to talk about. Obviously, we want to talk about it as soon as possible, but we can't right now. So stay tuned. And we will definitely run into you guys again soon. I hope everyone's good. Enzo, go ahead and take us out of here.
I just want to say something before Enzo takes us out here. This is a special Tope Talk. You know what? Because I feel that this is the calm before the storm. It is always quietest, right? Before everything happens. And I think we're really in that zone right now, both here at Metatope and in the industry and crypto as a whole. Enzo, what you got for us?
Yo, all right. So last week, I think it was either Saturday or Sunday, we had a live conversation with our teacher. We had a little AMA where he was telling us about the power of not giving up and the power of believing in whatever it is that you're doing. So our teacher went through a whole 3 years where he was spending all of his money in trading, following a strategy that wasn't fully profitable at the time. But through perfecting his strategy, failing, and learning from everything that has failed and not worked in the past, he was able to come up with a profitable strategy that turned him into who he is today, being able to teach in the real world for Andrew Tate. And that just goes to show the power of never giving up and the power of believing in what it is that you're doing and whatever craft it is that you are doing in life. So my little bit of advice to everybody here is you're probably going to fail. You're going to land on your face. Life will kick you down. And while you're down, it will probably keep kicking you. But if you believe in what you're doing and if you educate yourself properly and you keep working on your craft, eventually time will allow you to succeed. Just keep educating yourself as much as you can and working on your craft. And I'm pretty sure everybody in here will be able to make it.